I would submit to you that this is probably the most um, unpredictable era, kind of longer term era in venture that I've seen. And by unpredictable, I mean there is so much happening with technology that's going to impact the way we do our work in venture. And there's also uncertainty geopolitically and economically that has created some illiquidity, some additional, relatively speaking, additional illiquidity in the venture asset class. And so, and I think the other thing we've seen is a lot of established funds have announced that they are not going to raise a next fund. And so we have a lot of these mature platforms who are going to kind of wind down over time as they drive liquidity for the remainder of their portfolios. And then on the other side of that, we have all of these emerging funds that are smaller, relatively smaller than these more mature established funds. So we have the N is greater in terms of the number of funds that are smaller and the way in which they can have impact in these syndicated investments has really been interesting for me to watch because it's been the case really for the last 5 years. We also had this unbelievable, event of COVID in terms of the way that impacted the venture asset class. So everybody fell off the cliff with deal flow, and then everybody got to the top of Everest on deal flow and valuations, by the way, in the space of like 12 months. And then it started to kind of get back to a more normal cadence until inflation and interest rates started to increase, and we saw a lot of the geopolitical uncertainty.